any other day we hit that. Any other day we make a better decision. So I think they had a lot of faith in that game. I think they really needed that game because after this, overpass is going to be quite hard. But now they've got to worry about Cobble and just sealing this up. And they got to go one round at a time.
Yeah, of course, Cloud9, they've been good on Cobble so far. NiP with Get Right on form is definitely going to be someone to watch on that CT side. And on T, in fact, he's there right now, hovering around drop. Stewie up quite aggressive. He's pushed all the way up plat, and they do have 3 players now with a second moving their way up. Stewie finds the first and the second. The positioning working nicely. Nothing's going to grab himself a third. Eventually, they trade these kills back, but that's a huge start from Stewie. Not expected to be that close up, and the off angle has definitely worked at the start of this round.
I think it's actually really good for Cloud. I don't know who won the knife round. I think it might have been NiP starting on T side. This is going to be a sick match, man. Like, this first half is going to be so interesting for me. I really like that it started with NiP on the T side because they have a lot to show. I feel like on their cobbled T side have been innovators of this map in the last 8 months or so, and so this is quite a curious situation. This smoke isn't going to last forever, and Shroud's going to peer over it. So we'll know that they were stacked up, and both players are spotted.
Ooh.
Really nice drop down.
Oh,
Get Right almost connected that second.
And he gets the second.
That almost got really cute for a moment.
I thought he was going to hit that, like sort of jump out and then spin round and get it, but Automatic will end it. Hits 2 kills himself.
Especially at that last performance, man, yesterday. Or, excuse me, last map.
Seems so long ago.
I'm out of it, yeah. It seems so long, seems so far away. So, okay, so what's cool about NiP on this map is that, like, because of their new style and their structure, it's really hard to push on CT side, and so it's going to be very easy for NiP to get set up for all the executes they want to do. So they pretty much have free reign to, like, fully embrace this new style that they have, and Cobble is one of the maps that they have been exemplary on.
Nade, that could do a lot of damage, though. Over 100 hit there. Already looking at Automatic, will fall back, not going to go anything too crazy because it is just pistols, along with a few nades. They do have a couple of smokes ready, making a lot of noise over towards this A site, so there should be knowledge that they are around that position already. You see Shroud in a sort of rotation position ready by the door, and they're still leaving 2 players on B just for safety.
I love how that meta at long has just become a stalemate. It's just spot someone, throw a nade, drop a smoke, run back to site, like every single time.
Smoke dropped in. Now Skadoodle is holding. Can't see anything after their 1 flash is used, but that's all the utility that NiP have. Now they have to just rush onto that site. Automatic is already there. Shroud will combine as well. Skadoodle missing the spray a little bit, and now Forrest is going to be able to get up and close. He doesn't expect a second player there. Shroud will get away. Makalele hits another. Get Right with the shot, and he's actually going to find himself 2. Makalele hits the 3rd. How have NiP turned that around?
Oh my God, all over again. The second round conversion after a dominant pistol round performance, just like last map. That's unreal. I don't even know what happened. They had 3 people on site. They were ready for that. They had everything going for them. And then Get Right happened.
And then Get Right
gets
happened. Wow, what a pistol. Makalele finds 2 as well in the meantime. We were looking at Get Right's perspective, and rightly so, but another big round from Makalele. I do have to wonder about that sort of stand-in mentality. Yes, they've maybe had an easier run than they would have done if all those teams are on point, but he's still been playing phenomenally well. Nothing now on the Deagle. Of course, this is the force-up. 4 Deagles in play at the moment with Skadoodle saving. Almost identical again, and, well, Cloud9 hoping the end score won't be identical.
Yeah, the super good long B control right now, just making sure that no one can stand on the stairs, and also if they want to re-aggress, they have to risk getting spotted crossing back. So that molly does a lot in just that $400 that they're wasting on it, or spending on it, I should say. Cloud9 are going to be performing the counter by, once again, though, NiP. Oh, wow. Well, I don't know where that happened, but it's on. You can see the kill feed. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, still holding the angle. Stewie looking for a little bit more.
He's got info, too, so they might actually get wise and go A, or be more afraid of drop, potentially. Automatic pushing into lower. I don't know if he's going to go for a flank, but if he does, that might mean that they think it could be a B hit once again. NiP making absolutely no noise.
Get Right's actually doing all the damage as well. He's found 2 kills on the other side, and this is a problem. They are now going for a flank, although they could have that chance of catching out Get Right. They should now know that this is a rotation, and Automatic plays that perfectly, gets the kill, but now they have actually lost themselves the site. NiP looking to go back in. Of course, Automatic has grabbed himself a rifle. It isn't the best rifle in the world, but it's a rifle nonetheless, and Forrest now pushing all the way up aggressively. They have presence towards door and actually should have gone through the vent as well. This is the counter boost, though. and this may not be expected. Shroud is looking in the general direction. Skadoodle there too, but Forrest, he's playing so passively that he could just get this flank perfect, waiting. Just looking down. Freiburg holding the angle as well. They are just letting the bomb tick away. There's no kit either. Now we definitely have to look towards this sort of double position. Makalele still on point. There we go. One will come down. Makalele is actually going to get ended. Shroud now making this a little more interesting. Looking to pick up that rifle, but now this crossfire should come into play. Shroud actually doing a lot there, but Forrest still ends it.
Yeah, I have to wonder. I mean, they did do a lot of damage. NiP win with just one person, so it's going to force up a lot of rebuys. That's really nice. But Cloud9 have to look forward to one more save. So I wonder, would it be the best situation to save armor, a Galil, armor on 3 people, the Deagles, and use them in this round, where they could do potentially an equivalent amount of damage, and they force themselves to get retake kills, which are much more difficult. Managed to do so, however, so maybe that's all that matters. 4 kills in the round, not so bad.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that should never have been that close. Stewie starting things off nicely, and well, we saw backwards and forwards ending with Forrest's boost position only coming in to kill Shroud as he finds 2 on the retake. So not the worst case scenario, but you are right. There's very little for them to play with in this round. A couple of SMGs brought up to try and make that cash back on Get Right and Forrest.
There's always the potential that they maybe could win the round, but that was quite unlikely. I'm sure they didn't expect to be able to do that, especially without a kit. And now what's on the ducket is just a little bit of damage, and there's that molly again to Shy. Nothing away from the stairs. It's very powerful to throw this molly. It's become very standard because of the stairs, and I like it a lot. Added to the team meta as long B control.
Now, there will be a 3-man crossfire. Just trying to tap away. A couple of headshots, of course, is all that's necessary, but that is a lot easier said than achieved. And while they are making those rotation players, Get Right now going to come in at the end, and well, nice easy cleanup for NiP. Again, we don't need to mention their anti-ecos too much because they're normally so clean.
Yeah, they should just really skip the round. They should call a vote, and if the other team agrees, to skip it, because they usually have a pretty clean time getting away with those rounds. Plus or minus 1 or 2 kills. And now it's going to be a rifle up. I believe they should have enough money.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they have enough money for the up. Is the big question for me.
Skadoodle definitely saved in that sort of force buy round, so you're hoping, yeah, there we go. He actually has full nades as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he's caked right now. He's got the kit. He's got to win this round. He's got to use all his utility properly. He's the man of the hour. And this is is this the B take? Where's that smoke lined up to? It looked like one of the 3 smokes that NiP used on their elaborate B fake strat, but he's only thrown 1 smoke, and that one actually goes towards A. So quite interestingly enough, goes and smokes door off.
Quick setup here, Skadoodle. He is the man of the hour, the individual, and he is completely blind. Get Right. Didn't actually spot him, though. He's managed to get away, so this could work very nicely. Hits the first shot. Now, we've been expecting a lot from him. He's got to do so much more. Goes for the no-scope, and that's the missed shot we talk about. That was a difficult one to hit, but Makalele, he's doing the damage. He's found 2 back, and now you have to look to Cloud9. Is it worth going for this? They don't have head armor. That Mac 10, or Mac 10s, I should say, are very deadly against players that don't have any head armor. And well, now they're actually going to go pushing into the smoke. You see a lot of damage done to Stewie, and that will be the final factor. The only problem is nothing is stuck, and there you go. Get Right adds another $600. He's going to go on the hunt, nothing to lose. And Forrest, he's upgraded a Mac 10 to an AWP.
I think just, oh man, they really want to save this. Stewie's putting him in a position to take a fight, and it is just with a Mac 10, so luckily automatic bails him out, but there's Freiburg coming up the flank. Ooh, able to find a duel, but won't actually find the kill just yet. And there it is, cleans him up. So that just means those players should have gone for the retake ultimately. I mean, I honestly felt they had a better chance of getting the exit frags, but giving up the opportunity to die, it's kind of a tragic way to go in a situation where you've already given up. So that's NiP to seal up another round. And honestly, that was really cool. I liked how they decided to go A to start it off, and it was kind of a delayed but fast execution on the site, with just a couple of smokes, very light on the grenades, not to give away any tells. And the thing about a team like NiP, if they're going to play out most of these rounds really slowly, a round like that will catch you off guard every time. And to start out the map like that will especially catch a team off guard who might think, oh, I got at least 3-4 rounds before they throw me a curveball like that.
Yeah, Skadoodle definitely was not ready for that sort of push. Got flashed very early on, and eventually only finding 1 kill when he's the anchor of the site. It needed to be a little bit more. A lot of pressure on his shoulders, it has to be said. And well, so far, look at Get Right, just cleaning these kills up. He's had a Mac 10 for what, the last 3-4 rounds now? Just running around, farming up money. Imagine he's making bank at the moment, and well, Forrest was doing it up till the last round. 4K, that's a hell of a lot of cash.
Yeah, it's a ton of money. Let's do the math. 3,600.
2,400 maybe? $600 per kill?
Oh, it's 600. I did 900 per kill. Shotgun money. I actually confused. Oh, that's not the first time I confused that. Oh, that's right. 600 per kill.
You were close.
Well, I was right for the number
Yeah, you were
that
right
I was
with it.
calculating. And it was a much higher number, so I want more credit. Because math is harder. Thank you very much.
We got there in the end, though. That's what's important. Get right. He's happy to play with this MAC-10. I suppose until they stop him, he's going to continue to play that sort of crazy role of just jumping around with the MAC-10. It is a pain to deal with, it has to be said. It's very, very annoying when you have a player just running at you, and especially if you don't have head armor, which is still the case for Stewie and Skadoodle.
100%. And again, the only round that Cloud9 have won so far is the pistol. This round, going to have an op again, and should be in a good position. And this is Get Right. This is, man, if I was on an acid trip right now, the way I think about Get Right is, and wait, he's going to actually push out with the MAC-10. Does he get a kill? No. He does some damage. He does a good amount of damage for only having the MAC-10. That actually does make a difference, but it's 4v5. They don't have drop control anymore, but they might also feel free to go ahead and escort one more player in there. Now Forrest kind of in a critical spot. Stewie might get called out. I don't know if he saw the barrel of his gun there, but it's definitely apparent to us now.
Yeah, it does seem
goes off.
Forrest is dedicated to this T-AWP as well. Only when they have a double does Makalele pick it up on the T side, or if things start to go wrong. Of course, 5-1 up doesn't seem to be the case just yet. Freiburg is actually just the bait in this scenario, as he's still hanging out, drop, trying to go for that split. But now I think Skadoodle will realize from his direction that this is going to be an A hit, and you see the rotation straight away. They also have the man advantage by 2, so this is a smarter play. They've rotated in. A very aggressive push coming out now. Exist, Blind has to slow down and may just catch out Skadoodle. Both players actually catching a little bit of that flash, but I think Shroud will have spotted that out. The big problem, though, the time. They've got to go for this bomb plant now. The player in the corner is actually going to do the damage, and Shroud comes up, trumps.
Right, awesome. That was just good trades across the board. And I think dealing with Get Right was a huge thing, but maybe NiP relying so much on Get Right at that point, it seemed like, all right, if they're going to risk him to come out here, like if he gets a kill, then they might just, that might just be the pin that they need to pull. And the way that I was saying, if I was on an acid trip, the way that I would view Get Right as a player in drop, and we talk about Get Right and drop quite often, is like this player who is like Colossus getting airlifted and just put down, and he's just like a rock who anybody who runs into him just gets mowed down. In that situation, had one of the weaker guns in the game, probably wants to give Cloud9 a chance. He's very kind of him, but now has a full-on rifle.
Yeah, now we see Get Right. He's going to go very aggressive into the site. A lot for him to do. Stewie actually finds a gap in that smoke, and that's a big problem. Already finding the first kill of the round. Exist, very quick to trade, looks for the double, but it's still Stewie. He's playing around these smokes. We know he can do that well, but look at the trades. Makalele and Freiburg, they come up trumps again. Freiburg from the flank. He's done his job perfectly, finds 2 kills, and well, now it leaves automatic a 1 versus 3. Well, really, he has to save this, surely.
Yeah, I don't know. Automatic, man, he's super clutch, but this is such a big site to take. And also there's Forrest, so hitting that really nice shot along. Yeah, so not a good opportunity to do that.
I'm still intrigued by how Freiburg managed to actually get out. Did he go down, drop, and come through the door, or was he just on the site and ran round? Because he seemed to have a massive round. That gap is so slim that...
I blinked, so... No, so these smokes are actually kind of flawed in that sense, but they also funnel CTs into them. So it might be calculated in a way that NiP throw them that, oh, the CTs are going to see an opportunity, they're going to think it's a miss smoke, and they might come and try to interact with it in a certain way. And as we come out, we know that the rest of everything is smoke, so we can just focus on these cracks and kill the CTs, even though these smokes might appear to be trying to push them out. So...
It did seem like Exist was looking for the gap.
So Exist actually killed Stewie running around, or no, sorry, Nothing running around the right side of the site, and I think that was a little bit of a mistake by Nothing, because I know in a previous strat they allow the run up on the right side and focus on it for that specific reason, and I think that's why his eyes were there in the first place.
Yeah, great setup so far again by NiP. Definitely something we can't knock throughout their game so far. Because of that 1-round win, it has become a bit of a problem in terms of economy for Cloud9, and they are just going to go for 3 players over towards the B site, 1 over towards A as a sort of spotter, hoping that he can do a bit of damage, and he's going to have to. Automatic is left here alone. P250 not exactly known for its range, and this is where we will see probably a slaughter of Automatic unless he does something crazy.
Slaughtomatic incoming. It's about to happen.
I like it. I like it.
It's funny because we can use that as just like a term when when automatic goes into
It's stuck in your
when
head.
he goes into God mode, you call him Slaughtomatic, right? A lot of ways you can work that.
Yeah, and as he goes, Makalele. There's not too much he could have done there, really, unless he hits a crazy headshot. It is only a $300 investment, so not anything too insane.
And if he opens up like a deli and he just like wants to make a side dish and name it something, he could go like coleslaw automatic. Or, you know.
Okay, that needs to just come out somewhere. Just like cold automatic.
Karambit auto slaughter. Oh, get him, Skadoodle. 10 points. Let's go. What a legend. That's not an easy jump. That's not an easy jump.
Yeah.
Someone clip that.
They are just going to save here, not wanting to give too much money over. There is still that possibility the Get Right might have a back 10 hiding somewhere to farm them up. So it may look a bit odd them saving, but that's normally the reason. You don't want to give any more money over to NiP just by running in.
Nipples? No, nippies.
God's sake.
Oh, man.
Nipples, yeah?
I skipped fourth.
Either way, we're back. Not a buy, so it's not going to be anything too crazy now. NiP looking for their 8th round on the board.
Oh, this is the wall smokes. So the strat is so cool because they can use this to either go A or B because they're in position to go A, and they have 2 people there to try to sell this. Get Right actually comes out on this strat, I believe. And yeah.
And the funny thing is they didn't even take the bomb. They didn't even take it. Just Get Right runs in, kills everyone. They've now picked up the bomb for B. Of course, I don't think they would have known that that was pistols because they saved in the last, so probably expected a buy, but that is how wrecked the Cloud9 economy has been.
They kind of wasted that strat a little bit. I don't think they thought that Cloud9 would be saving one more time. So that's not any more of a pocket strat or pocket strat anymore. That being said, as a strat that I'm fully aware of, it's one of the first things that they did when they were innovating on combos so heavily.
Use it both ways though, because if you do throw those smokes in, you can go B, but you may throw them in and then they expect you're going B, or then they think, they want us to think we're going B.
Yes.
And you can just basically mind game them by still using the strat. It's a nice set of smokes.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it works as just a standard take in the first place. So there is a way for them to change it up and have 3 put players over towards long B, and then when Get Right comes out first and the rest of them come out later. But yeah, so one tell is that the smokes come over the wall and you see where they come from, but it doesn't actually tell you what site they're going to. And so it is pretty cool. Very, very cool strat.
Yeah, something that's clearly been implemented and taken quite a bit of time to get that down to a T. Scooter already tagged down low. He is supported, but already he is dead. Forest wins that ult battle. Does take a tag back in return. But this is the big buy that was saved up for. They're not using that utility. A missed shot there. It will actually be Automatic picking up the AWP, and this is a big opportunity for him to be sandwiched here. Hits the first shot, has to swing back, but it's not going to be from that angle. Exist takes him down, and it's a quick trade. Shroud has quickly rotated in, and nothing's actually in position here, but still with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm looking more at the position of Get Right.
This was a really good adjustment from Cloud9, just picking up the pace or picking up the leftover spots really quickly. But honestly, Forrest winning that initial duel, he also had Automatic dead to rights. I don't care if Automatic jumps and lands and doesn't get killed from the back. Forrest is still going to kill him in that spot. It's a much easier shot to hit. So NiP have done a great job off the back of Forrest stopping here. And are now completely gamble stacking. And I think they believe that NiP are going to come back to A. And that's quite unfortunate for them. Someone's gonna hear this molly going off potentially. Actually, they might be too far away.
I think
you can really hear
very,
grenades from far, you can hear at least something from like very far away, but this is quite far.
But the other thing is, you could even if you do hear it, you don't know where it's been thrown. You can guess, but that is literally the other side of the map. And well, NiP, this is sort of the advantage of they have picked up the pace in a lot of these rounds. We saw sort of the last few days they've been very, very slow, down to 20 seconds in most rounds. This one, they take the aggressive peaks in the first minute,
Yeah, which
And
is
then,
great because that was a problem
yeah.
with the way they were playing for sure.
And now they've just sort of had the free roam with a minute left that, okay, now we will push all the way back round to B. And they have just taken the site without any problems. No more players will be lost other than Makalele. And the only other way they would lose is by Freiburg challenging. And they have the money to buy up anyway. So very good half so far. Already getting to 9. Mentioned on the desk that it is sort of that 9-6-8-7. They're going to be looking for a little bit more than that.
They have absolutely wrecked shop on the rounds they won, so it's really scary for Cloud9. I think, again, a pistol, and then what was the other round that they won? Versus, I think it was a cleanup versus an A-take. That's, yeah, they managed to get the first 2 frags, and then it was 3v5. NiP had no chance. So essentially, the one round that Cloud9 have won was a round that NiP failed in their defaults, which is something they don't do often because they rarely give up frags. This map is also very friendly to defaults just because you don't have to go for a lot of information. It's very low risk, high reward on the T side, but here they are pushed up a little bit.
Okay, right. Again, looking to go straight through the smoke. Stewie hits the first shot, but doesn't connect on the second. 1 HP on Get Right, but he still found that opening kill. Flashbang will go out. Not going to hit him. That's a shame.
Oh my God, they think they're not convinced it's going to be B. They saw Get Right, and they actually just played themselves. They thought that it was going to be that B take again, or that.
Oh my God, Get Right's going to go aggressive. He's actually found himself a second kill. He's on 1 HP, for God's sake. Finally, someone will end his life, but the damage has been done. The bomb will now go down after plant positions, and Freiburg is actually just waiting now. All the way back. They're playing so passively, NiP. Looking for the peak. It will be exist, and there goes automatic. The re-peak. He's going to find 2. Goes for the spray control, but it's actually Shroud running away to hide. There's so many players for him to find, and that is another great strategy from NiP. But you mentioned it. They sort of mind game themselves a bit there.
Man, I mean, well, that or I mean, essentially, you got to give credit to NiP because, man, they're just like this is such a trash-rich team right now because Get Right comes out long. First of all, it's a tragedy that Stewie, does 99 damage and then misses the entire other shot, which is probably his own fault. But either way, him staying alive and then getting another kill off of that. But as soon as they see his name tag, they don't even all rotate into B. In fact, one of them runs all the way back because they think, oh man, he came out long again. This is exactly like the last round where they went A, and they weren't even the same smokes. So they really have them scared right now. Cloud9 second guessing themselves, and it's all because NiP are getting away with exactly what they want them to. Did that sentence make sense? Getting away with yeah, they're getting away with stuff.
That's the gist of it anyway. They're getting away with stuff that they probably shouldn't have done if Cloud9 were playing with their full confidence, if they were properly in on where they thought that NiP was going. But that's one of the hardest things about this map in general, information and knowledge. And, well, Stewie, he tries to go for a little bit of an information peak. Forrest has other ideas. He does get some information. The information he gathered was that there's an AWP at the other end of that and that he's now dead.
No, it's NiP to have their opening frag. 45 seconds remain. Molly comes out. Nothing takes a couple points of damage. Actually gets a dink off onto long. That's a little bit to work with, but Colossus in drop right now is always a threat. Automatic, postured up, knowing exactly what's going on. That I think he's fully aware that they have just run this execution just to get him escorted into drop, and here he is going to get a kill anyways. Nothing has managed to find the trade, but it's already a 3v4. A site has been compromised. Automatic has rotated first, but he only has a UMP and is going to get hard cleared, but it doesn't matter. Headshot from Automatic. Really nice from Shroud as well, who picks up the slack a little bit. 10 seconds remain. It's only Forrest in a 1v2. 7 seconds left. He's not going to be able to get the bomb down. And finally, Cloud9 do something.
Yeah, and he's going to die within 1 second. So that's the second time I think that's happened again. So not going to have his money reset. Shroud going absolutely huge in that round, picking up, I think, 3 kills.
Yeah, but honestly, Automatic, he waited outside the back of drop, probably told his teammates, Get Right's in here right now. He was postured up, waiting for him to jump out. Pretty much knew it was going to be some kind of fake, or ultimately knew that the long B pressure was just to distract while they escorted him down there. And then for the first one to rotate to A, was already in a great position as they came up the ramp. So he's making decisions really quickly. So Automatic is like hella smart, man. He's got a big-ass brain.
Yeah, no money problems, of course, for NiP. Have plenty of cash to deal with. Stewie about to get hit with a nade. He's still in this corner yet again, already playing this once. Get Right taking some damage from a Molotov, and now we'll see this challenge again. This time Stewie capitalizes, hits the headshot. And this could be the difference. Going to go jumping up is actually Skadoodle to combine, and this time it's looking like their setup is working. Stewie going absolutely crazy through the fire, hits the shot. This is why he's so renowned for. And well, Forrest now left again. He's in a 1 versus 4, looking to try and do some extra damage. But that's going to be automatic, will finish him off. And, well, Stewie, nothing to lose, goes through the fire, and that's just insane.
That was great. 40 damage. Let me hit this beat hop through the air, headshot with the Mag 7. Very nice from Stu. Overall, they shut down that first kill, and we see now how important that is. If you get the first kill, it's not just that, it's get right. The first person out creates a lot of space for the terrorists to get across the site, which frees them from the CT's ability to just nade at them while they hold them off. And so Stu getting that first kill might have been the reason he got that round. I don't think he needed to become the ballerina that he did, but ultimately it looked awesome. It was good for the stream.
Yeah, now back to Makalele on the AWP. So it has switched up hands. Last couple of rounds haven't gone the way of NiP, and they are seeing a double AWP on the other side. So Skadoodle and Automatic on the AWPs. Actually, Automatic playing it over towards that A side. So they have switched up the setup a little bit, and I feel like that could work out. Nothing will catch off Forrest at the start of the round. Get Right, or Colossus jumping down. There goes Shroud, so he has done his job again. We know that this guy is phenomenal around. Drop down, but Stewie goes for the repeat. It's Makalele and AWP. That wasn't there before. Now we've seen the rotation from nothing, and Skadoodle doing his best to stay alive on the site. Nobody pushing him yet. This is the thing. This is where mind games begin, because NiP, they're still slowing things down. Now the smokes will go out, and they still have Automatic waiting. He's not gone in yet, but Makalele again finding another entry onto the site. Skadoodle will trade one back, and actually Automatic's hit one too. Automatic's going ham. He's going for the final, but it's Exist. Trades both back, 11-4.
Damn, what an insane round. Ultimately, it came down to a really close situation, but NiP showed that they had true control of the tempo and the momentum the entire time.
And they have more people. That was the thing towards the end.
Yeah. It was from their opening pick, they managed to maintain the man advantage trade after trade. And it did come down to that 1v1. Very fortunate to be able to get there. And here's this. I can barely. I don't have that octave right now.
But yeah, it is Get Right. Top the board again. Makalele, pretty close second. And well, across the board, we've seen some bigger plays coming out towards the end of that half. But now we look towards the T side of Cloud9.
Yeah. And the T side of Cloud9 is really good. But it has me wondering about this pick for them, because I see like NiP's CT side is going to be very good, and T side, it's not going to be difficult to find openings on, but at the same time, it's going to be hard to get away with also standard executes. I don't know how free they are. I feel like the style that they are trying to adopt as the new Cloud9 is a very loose, very spread out style. And it's not very favorable to have 5 people work a pick on T side on Cobble, as it is to essentially get map control with like 2 or 3 people, like A control, drop control, and then try to do a standard split. But the choke points lead right into the bomb site, and that sounded like a something that. No, don't actually interrupt this.
Clearing a lot of positions. This is the split onto the A site. Julie spamming away. It will be Get Right and Exist to combine to find the first couple of kills. Skadoodle quick to trade one back and should be able to find this one as well. Automatic. That's back to a 3 versus 3. Look at Forrest, though. He's still on the site. They need to deal with him, and they've not. They've dropped the bomb in a crossfire. Makalele doesn't need to drop down here, but he will. Skadoodle is tapping away. They're combining together. Now it's down to Shroud. He's got to hit these shots very, very quickly. Makalele not quite taking him down, but down to 30 HP is going to be very difficult for Shroud. Makalele may be low. Forrest has somehow only dropped a minimal HP when in that corner, so really played this smart. He also picked up the kit as well, so if somehow the bomb manages to go down, and you can see much more passive from NiP. They know where the bomb is. Forrest is watching the position. But Shroud is actually playing this quite smart. I don't think he knows where Makalele is.
Makalele has an excellent position right now. Shroud in a hard spot. Forrest trying to hit the headshot, does do it. Man, that might be the nail in the coffin, man. It's already 11 for half. They won that last that last 1v1 to change it from 10-5. Now they have the freedom to buy whatever they want, pretty much, and it's going to be pistols on Cloud9, and it was a very close 2v2. Scoodle had a lot of opportunities to get that kill, but at the same time, a lot of these duels kind of went back and forth in wonky ways. But either way, I was saying the choke points are close to the bomb plant zones is what I meant to say, as opposed to the bomb sites, which is something that is self-explanatory.
Yeah, well, Forest there stayed alive for so long that they just weren't able to get anywhere near that site. So big round coming out from him. Shroud already getting tagged up. I love a bit of auto-shotty action from Get Right. I think the other standout player with the auto-shotty is Hiko on Nuke, which I definitely loved during the major. But let's see what Get Right can do. There's the first. Actually gets hit in the head and survives. So Automatic maybe feeling a bit downhearted with that one, but Skadoodle with the Glock will trade one back. Freiburg, Shroud with the headshot. Now they're actually looking good here. Shroud again finding more kills. It's down to Get Right and Exist to bring this one back. Shroud on 1 HP, Get Right on 3 HP. Will find the M4, now has a little bit of range. Stewie, he just needs to connect one bullet here, but he's actually going to get caught by Exist. Flanking, smart play at the moment. Skadoodle, he's the only one with any HP, but he's got no armor. He's got a Glock. This is not the ideal scenario for him, and he's going to get taken down. It's all down to Shroud. He's got to find this with the Deeg. Grabs the first, looking for the second, but it's too much. Exist will finish this round, but hella close.
Yeah, hella close. So close. Oh, man, Shroud's stressed out right now.
Well, when you hit 3 1-Deegs, 1 on 1 or 1 HP, and you still don't win the round, it has to be one of those moments.
Yeah, he desperately wanted to do it.
I've seen this exact position from him before as well with the Deeg.
The really sad part is it is the only consolation prize this late into the game, right? It's you're just going to have to put rounds on the board at some point, and stopping it at 12 is so much better than stopping it at 13. They still will be able to buy, it seems like. Scoodle is going to go no armor on this. A little bit of a risk, but I honestly would be really afraid of seeing him get to 14, or I feel like they might be thinking that anyway, so are going to use Tim as what looks like an entry fragger. Makalele going to shut it down early. Might have a field day right here with this Max 7. Going to look for a third kill. No, Shroud does trade it at some point.
Yeah, he's done so much damage as well. Look at the nades. Again, we talk about nade utilage. Not quite going to reach. But look, 40 and 23 HP. And there's Freiburg with the flank. Oh. That may just be that nail.
Yeah, it's like the 1v2 pistol. A lot of headshots could go one way. That last round coming down to the 1v1. Shroud on fire, has low HP. Wasn't in a good position to necessarily win and Get Right hitting that clean headshot with the UMP. And then this round just, you know, it's not getting like. So now they go to 14, and actually I wonder, that last round, it was a really early buy. I kind of like that they were going low in a situation where maybe NiP was kind of low as well, in the sense that they're not going to buy up full. Oh, there's a trade for Automatic, but...
and a rifle for nothing. That could be the more important thing there.
Yeah, you should probably just like hand that over to someone with like all their health left.
Stewie, Shroud, probably the primary examples in this stage, especially if he switches out for a Deagle or something, and definitely something that can work for lower HP players. Of course, I kind of don't like the fact that they may not get a full buy now because of the problems with their economy. They may get one.
Yeah, no.
They get a bomb plant.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're relying on bomb plants, and they also just made a decision. Like, we win that last round or we lose the game is the mentality. Now, it doesn't mean they're necessarily out. They still have this opportunity. They have a 5v4 right now, even though Tim is very low. But they did make a conscious decision, like, we're taking a huge risk by buying last round.
Yeah, already throwing a few nades out towards that B site. Now, this is where we have to see what they have to offer at this point. They are going to make some, well, attempts at a split already. We lose one, but there's the split coming into play. Stewie will find that frag, and now back to that sort of position, but Exist, his spot is so good. Looking for two, gets it as well. Not quite going to get the third. Skadoodle's there with the trade, and they picked up a couple of rifles as well. The scenario actually looking pretty even. Makalele, Get Right. They don't have any nades to play with. Shroud, he needs to hit some shots here. He has done a lot of damage. There's the headshot. Get Right. He's the only one left in this scenario. He's been phenomenal all the way through the series, but that's too much to ask. Shroud goes big again, and they will manage to just about survive.
Oh my gosh, he's actually so on point right now, hitting that hitting those couple of shots. Really nice positioning from him to put himself in a spot where anyone walking out of door is just going to get headshotted immediately. And it's 5-14 though, man. Like he can come through with these amazing plays and almost win rounds sometimes. It's not going to mean much at the end of the day. NiP overall look like a much stronger team. They're making much more sound decisions. They look like much more grounded. They have their feet on the ground. Like it's really scary right now for Cloud9, who I feel like are in the mentality of we're not going to win already.
Yeah, well, you can see the confidence from NiP. They're actually going to force into this one. A couple of UMPs, Mag 7, CZ, and one rifle into the hands of Exist. Not the best buy by any stretch. Still not a full buy on the other side of things, as Automatic only has himself a CZ, but a hell of a lot of utility in AWP onto Skadoodle. No head armor, which definitely helps out these CT players. One bullet is all it will take from any of the weapons that they actually have to take down Skadoodle, but at the same time, if he misses a shot, I think that may be the case anyway.
Almost certainly will be the case. Yeah. Automatic still with that CZ, as you mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of time being used up at the moment. Nothing, definitely getting tempted, as they now know that a lot of drop is clear from the Molotovs that have been used. They are using their nades correctly to clear out angles, and it's looking like they're going for this split again. However, it's going to be a couple of trades coming either way. Shroud still standing, but he's very low. Stewie the same. This flash has been perfect. It's not quite going to manage him a kill, and he just needs to connect some bullets. Skadoodle will, but it's going to be Exist with the trade. There goes Skadoodle once again. Now a 1v1. He has been close to winning these. It is the two players who've been close in 1v1s. Makalele had these problems yesterday, wasn't able to win. The time for now is with Makalele, but we're waiting for this bomb plant. Then it will switch. Then Skadoodle has the advantage. So now we look at Makalele on the retake. We know that Skadoodle can hit these shots, but we're looking to see how Makalele actually opts to play. Looking like he's about to peek through door. He has no idea where this AWP is going to be in the position. This is a gamble, but it looks like it may be paying off in Skadoodle's favor. He's going to go all the way back to the corner, hold the angle. There's no way Makalele will be ready for this. Has to go for the peek, and he's looking all the way around the map. This isn't actually helping with the plant. The plant doesn't help him at all, but the angle he's holding is absolutely primed, and that is perfect from Skadoodle.
Wow, just relied on them, on Makalele not coming heaven late, and spent a little bit of time making sure that that was possible, and then played a very passive position to a point that even in that 1v1 almost ran down the clock and set himself up for just what he felt like was 100% of the 100% on the round, and he was right about it. It was a good read. Cloud9 win that 1v1. The scary thing was it was versus an eco in the first place, or not an eco, but a really tattered force-up buy by NiP. So lucky to get away with it. Not doing wonders for their economy. At this point, their economy, as long as it's enough to fortify buy after buy, that's kind of all they have to work with anyway, because they're one away from match point. But this might be a great round for them to start to build it up.
Yeah, in terms of confidence, it's always helpful playing against an eco, but not if you're losing players. That's two already for NiP, and a third is on the cards. Look at the damage. Luckily, nothing's there to return some normality to the round. And Freiburg now, well, he's still got the opportunity to take down Stewie. You'd hope that Stewie would just stay back in this circumstance and not give him that chance, because that would just be a little bit silly from him. There's no reason for them to all need to push this scenario. Nothing now knows exactly where he is, and that will be it. Nothing definitely restores that round after it gets a little bit scary.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And then the damage is cool, but again, it's going to be, if Cloud9 lose a round, well, if they don't have a rebuy, it might just be like a 2-for-1 and then the game's over. So they have incentive to try to have a little bit in the bank. They're not necessarily on match point quite yet, and still have rounds to come back from. But if they are going to do this, they're going to stay away from match point as long as possible, and we'll have NiP in likely a buy save situation with potential for a buy 2 rounds in a row after like a 5-round streak, something like that.
There's that mental thing as well. The second that 15th round comes, things seem to change a little bit. At this point, there's still a chance they can win this in normal time. They've got to take every single round one by one, and so far, doing a reasonable job at it. It has come pretty close in the buy rounds, and now we do actually see NiP with a better buy. It doesn't have a lot of utility, which can be very effective, or it's very effective on every map, but I feel specifically Cobble, just because you can't get too much information, and you really need to sort of use these nades well.
A lot of focus and attention on drop. As you mentioned before, they had expelled the right amount of resources to take drop safely. It wasn't versus any pushback from NiP. They ended up giving it up, which isn't actually the worst thing in the world. You can make a decision to do it. Retaking drop, though, is kind of the answer to that. And the second part of the plan, good flash on a tree. Stewie comes out of the corner of the smoke, doesn't get the kill, and it's 3v3.
Yeah, this is just going to leave it down now to 2. Exist going big, but Shroud is there with the trade. He's very low on health. And it's going to be Forrest and Freiburg to try and bring this back to match point. Skadoodle with the plant. This is the point to pounce. They know exactly this is the right scenario. Skadoodle, you can't miss these shots. Freiburg is going to take it to match point.
Wow, critical push from Freiburg. The plant actually not going down by the smoke is because he didn't want to get spammed in that situation. The only safe one is to have the statue. But the person watching him has 5 HP and is a much farther angle, so Freiburg had all the right in the world to try to go for that kill. And Skadoodle, yeah, not missing that up-close shot. Not sure how it all went down, but clearly, as you can see, not having a great map once again.
What's that thing, isn't it? The second the bomb is planted, you know you have, what, 3.5 seconds to play with the second that bomb starts to be planted. So Freiburg goes for it. He does exactly what he needed to do, and finding the second kill.
Well, yeah, in a 2v2 and someone plants the bomb, you know that someone's got their hands busy, so the other person is, as long as you can isolate the planter, you've got a fair fight.
Again, nades doing more and more damage. They will switch the AK over and just give Stewie the CZ now that he has gone down to 64 HP. Skadoodle, he's going to take even more. The peak coming out to do that bit of damage from Makalele. Now the push is going to come in. This could be the last-ditch effort for Cloud9, but that's a missed shot. But there's Existing Get Right. They brought this back. Freiburg with another going for the knife. Exist. He will die, but it's all down to Skadoodle. 20 HP left to fight this one back. It's so much to ask, and that is it. NiP, they have taken this one. They win their semi-final, and they are on to that grand final.
Wow. Looking better than Cloud9 in pretty much everywhere, shape, and form in that map. The opping was better, the setups were better, the T-side rounds were phenomenal. They sealed up the pistols, they had everything going for them, and it makes you wonder why Cloud9 opted to pick Cobble, what their other strong maps are as of recently. But overall, we see NiP still are very comfortable on Cobble, and it was probably a risk to have to pick it against them.
Yeah, for sure. They look like the best team in the tournament, maybe. They've looked very, very strong, very little hiccups. They had a closer series against Astralis, but inevitably closed it out, and they looked dominant all the way through that.
It seemed like there was almost no opportunity for Cloud9 to come back from it. And then towards the end, we saw a couple of not necessarily risky buys, but just like last-ditch effort buys. And economically, they wouldn't have been decisions that you would have made if you had more rounds, right?
Yeah,
and that just tells you that that's desperation. If you don't make that decision, on round 6, and then you probably shouldn't make it towards the end of the game just because you're losing. If you really believe that you can play this game round by round and come back and win it.